Welcome to the Madison Miller Podcast. Today is Monday, February 7th, 2022. Today I'm going to recap the weekend's college basketball and NBA games, look ahead to tonight's games in each sport. The NHL comes back tonight. We'll look ahead to those games as well when we go over the NHL All-Star Weekend, the Pro Bowl, Olympics, golf, news and notes, and best bets. A lot to do today in such little time. We'll start with college basketball. We'll recap the games from the weekend and look ahead to a busy Monday tonight. Yale over Dartmouth 72-69, Richmond over St. Bonaventure 71-61, Wnba over Western Carolina 76-69, Akron over Miami of Ohio 66-55, Northern Kentucky over Oakland 87-78 in overtime, Wright State over Detroit Mercy 90-59, Seton Hall over Creighton 74-55, Cornell over Princeton 88-83, Penn over Columbia 81-66, Harvard over Brown 65-50, Purdue Fort Wayne over Milwaukee 70-60, Cleveland State over Green Bay 85-69, St. Peter's over Quinnipiac 83-74, Rider over Siena 74-60, Iona over Kenosha 70-62, Niagara over Manhattan 80-74 in overtime, Monmouth over Fairfield 56-59, Ball State over Toledo 93-83, Colorado State over San Diego State 58-57, and Fresno State over Nevada 73-56. Now we look back on Saturday's games. Number 12 Villanova over number 17 UConn 85-74. Number 18 Illinois over Indiana 74-57. St. John's over Butler 75-72. Wake over Florida State 68-60. Oklahoma State over Oklahoma 64-55. Robert Morris over IPUI 66-49. Chattanooga over Mercer 77-68. UNC Greensboro over Furman 58-56. Number 1 Auburn over Georgia 74-72. Number 22 Tennessee over South Carolina 81-57. Holy Cross over Army 69-65. Wagner over LIU 79-64. Central Connecticut over Fairleigh Dickinson 91-82 in overtime. Vermont over UMass Lowell 78-67. St. Joe's over Fordham 72-69. The Citadel over Stanford 107-93. Northwestern over Nebraska 87-63. Number 14 Texas Tech over West Virginia 60-53. Number 23 Texas over number 20 Iowa State 63-41. DePaul over number 21 Xavier 69-65. Lafayette over Bucknell 74-72 in overtime. Temple over Tulsa 67-58. Tulane over East Carolina 86-66. Boston University over Lehigh 80-74. Merrimack over St. Fran PA 65-64 in overtime. Gardner-Webb over NC-A&T 69-62. Syracuse over Louisville 92-69. Georgia Tech over Clemson 69-64. Binghamton over Maine 69-60. Youngstown State over UIC 66-64. Georgia State over South Alabama 69-62. Bradley over Evansville 76-41. UMass over Rhode Island 78-67. LaSalle over George Mason 83-78. St. Louis over Dayton 72-61. Davidson over George Washington 78-73. North Dakota State over Denver 73-65. North Dakota over Omaha 92-85. Wofford over East Tennessee State 62-60. Hofstra over James Madison 85-78 in overtime. Northeastern over Towson 58-53. Ohio over Western Michigan 77-64. Kent State over Eastern Michigan 90-71. Number 4 Purdue over Michigan 82-76. UTEP over Rice 72-70. Stephen F. Austin over Dixie State 81-52. Utah Valley over Sam Houston 57-54. Notre Dame over NC State 69-57. Yale Monroe over Little Rock 75-72 in overtime. Alabama State over Grambling 80-72. Florida over Ole Miss 62-57 in overtime. Number 10 Kansas over number 8 Baylor 83-59. Rutgers upsets number 13 Michigan State 84-63. NC Central over Coppin State 69-68. Howard over Maryland Eastern 72-64. Colgate over American 86-68. Wazoo over Cal 68-64. UC Santa Barbara over UC San Diego 84-48. Bethune-Cookman over Prairie View 68-67. UAB over Middle Tennessee 97-75. FAU over Southern Miss 84-57. Charlotte over Marshall 88-64. Northern Colorado over Northern Arizona 74-71. Abilene Christian over Texas Rio Grande 83-66. Sacramento over St. Francis Brooklyn 66-62 in overtime. Bryan over Mount St. Mary 62-61. Campbell over SC Upstate 80-71. Albany over Hartford 71-52. Troy over Georgia Southern 61-52. VC over Duquesne 71-62. Charleston over Alon 66-64. UNC Wilmington over William & Mary 92-70. Missouri over Texas A&M 70-66. Central Arkansas over Stetson 79-75. Morehead State over Austin Peay 77-52. Tennessee State over UT Martin 69-61. Texas Southern over Florida A&M, 67-55. North Florida over North Alabama, 71-58. Buffalo over Central Michigan, 74-54. Number 7, Arizona over number 19, USC, 72-63. Jackson State over Mississippi Valley State, 69-65. Southeast Missouri State over Eastern Illinois, 63-56. Navy over Loyola, Maryland, 56-55. Incarnate Word over New Orleans, 78-70. McNeese over Northwestern State, 93-84. Presbyterian over Radford, 78-70. Virginia over Miami, 71-58. Florida Gulf Coast over Lipscomb, 77-68. Arkansas State over Louisiana, 67-58. Bowling Green over Northern Illinois, 87-65. Winthrop over Hampton, 69-57. Longwood over Charleston, 69-67. Jacksonville State over Jacksonville, 64-58. Number 9, Duke over Carolina, 87-67. Number 11, Wisconsin over Penn State, 51-49. Vandy upsets number 25, LSU, 75-66. Wichita over SMU, 72-57. Colorado over Oregon State, 86-63. North Texas over UTSA, 69-45. New Mexico State over Seattle, 79-64. Penn over Cornell, 73-68. Brown over Dartmouth, 62-60. Texas State over Coastal Carolina, 69-64. App State over Texas Arlington, 70-61. Northern Iowa over Drake, 74-69 in overtime. Utah State over UNLV, 90-75. Boise State over San Jose State, 76-60. Southern over Alabama A&M, 73-64. Alcorn State over Arkansas Pine Bluff, 70-64. Long Beach State over Cal Poly, 78-65. Western Kentucky over Old Dominion, 77-60. Louisiana Tech over FIU, 86-82. Santa Clara over San Diego, 79-66. High Point over UNC Asheville, 91-83 in overtime. Virginia Tech over Pitt, 76-71. Princeton over Columbus, 85-63. Yale over Harvard, 58-55. NJIT over Stony Brook, 65-62. UMBC over New Hampshire, 88-77. Liberty over Eastern Kentucky, 91-84. Kennesaw State over Bellarmine, 75-70. Wright State over Oakland, 75-64. Detroit Mercy over Northern Kentucky, 74-68. Valpo over Indiana State, 79-72 in double overtime. Number 5, Kentucky over Alabama, 66-55. Memphis over UCF, 88-60. UC Davis over Hawaii, 68-65. Murray State over SIU Edwardsville, 79-59. Montana State over Weber State, 78-57. Idaho State over Montana, 86-63. Houston Baptist over Southeast Louisiana, 93-80. Grand Canyon over Cal Baptist, 56-50. Tarleton over Chicago State, 57-54. Pepperdine over Pacific, 74-60 or 70-64. San Francisco over Portland, 74-71. Kansas State over TCU, 75-63. Southern Illinois over Illinois State, 75-69. Oral Roberts over St. Thomas, 88-66. UMKC over Western Illinois, 91-82. South Dakota State over South Dakota, 89-79. New Mexico over Air Force, 91-77. Oregon over Utah, 80-77. Belmont over Tennessee Tech, 192 in overtime. Arkansas over Mississippi State, 63-55. Southern Utah over Eastern Washington, 84-72. Number 2, Gonzaga over BYU, 90-57. Arizona State over number 3, UCLA, 87-84 in triple overtime. Cal State Fullerton over Cal State Bakersfield, 75-61. UC Irvine over Cal State Northwood, 75-70. Portland State over Sacramento State, 73-65. And St. Mary's over Loyola Marymount, 71-60. And then yesterday's results. Number 15, Providence over Georgetown, 71-52. Number 16, Ohio State over Maryland, 82-67. Niagara over Iona, 80-71. Canisius over Manhattan, 77-70. Purdue Fort Wayne over Green Bay, 71-55. Loyola Chicago over Missouri State, 71-62. Monmouth over Quinnipiac, 76-63. St. Peter's over Marist, 66-50. Siena over Fairfield, 62-56. Cleveland State over Milwaukee, 84-71. San Diego State over Nevada, 65-63. Stanford over Washington, 87-69. Akron over Miami of Ohio, 71-59. Iowa over Minnesota, 71-59. Number 6, Houston over Cincinnati, 80-58. And Wyoming over Fresno State, 61-59. Now we look ahead to tonight's games. 5 o'clock, you have Charlotte FIU. My projection is Charlotte by 2.5, total 140-35. Meanwhile, it is Florida International by 1, total of 135. I'm going to go with the over. UNC Wilmington, Hofstra. My projection is Hofstra 5.5, total 144.3. Meanwhile, 7.5 and 145. I'm taking Wilmington in the points. I can't believe that. 6 o'clock, Holy Cross, Colgate. My projection is Colgate 15.5, total 139.9. Meanwhile, it is 17.5 and 141.5. I'm going to go with Holy Cross in the points. Hartford, UMass Lowell. My projection is Lowell by 6.5, total 136.15. Meanwhile, it's 3.5 and 134.5. Laying the points. 7 o'clock on ESPN, Virginia at number 9, Duke. My projection is Duke by 11.5, total 134.1. Meanwhile, it is 11.5 and 129. I like the over. Temple, South Florida. My projection is Temple by 5.25, total 127.2. Meanwhile, it's 3.5 and 124.5. Over. Presbyterian, Hampton. My projection is Presbyterian by 1.5, total 130.8. Meanwhile, it's 4.5 and 125.5. Another over. George Mason and Richmond. My projection is Richmond 14.5, total 141.8. Well, it's 8.5 and 138.5. I'm laying the points. UTSA and Middle Tennessee. My projection is Middle by 7.5, total 139.2. Meanwhile, it is 13.5 and 141.5. I'm taking UTSA plus the points. Pitt, Virginia Tech on ACC Network. My projection is Virginia Tech by 15, total 131.35. Well, 13 and 129.5. I'm going to lay the points. New Hampshire, Stony Brook. My projection is 6.5 for Stony Brook and 140. Meanwhile, it is 3.5 and 139.5. I'm laying the points. Chattanooga, Mercer. My projection for this game is Chattanooga by 6.75, total 141.1. Well, it's 5.5 and 138.5. Over. UNC Greensboro and Western Carolina. My projection here is Greensboro 6.5, total 139.75. Meanwhile, 4.5 and 133.5. Over. Tacoma Falls, Charleston Southern. We could skip. Eastern Illinois, Tennessee Tech. My projection is Tennessee Tech by 6, total 134.35. Meanwhile, it is 14.5 and 130.5. That's very high. Give me Eastern Illinois plus the 14.5. Lafayette, Navy. My projection is Navy 14, total 132.55. Meanwhile, it is 9.5 and 127.5. Over. Furman and East Tennessee State on ESPNU. My projection is Furman by 3.25, total 144. Meanwhile, it's 5.5 and 145. All right, the line's high enough for me to bet on East Tennessee State. James Madison and Drexel. My projection is Drexel 1.25, total 146.8. Meanwhile, it is 4.5 and 149.5. The market really has shied away from James Madison, it seems like, when it comes to betting. Give me them plus the 4.5. Austin P and Belmont at 7:30. My projection is Belmont by 19.25, total 142.05. Meanwhile, it's 19.5 and 143.5. Slight under. Howard and Delaware State. My projection for this game is Howard 6.5, total 140.6. Meanwhile, it's 15.5 and 140.5. Give me Delaware State in the points. Texas Southern, Bethune-Cookman. My projection is Southern 19.5, total 131.85. Well, 7.5 and 128.5. I'm laying the points. Jackson State and Arkansas Pine Bluff. Actually, that game is actually an 8:30 game. We'll just do it now. My projections: Jackson State 14, total 133.6. Meanwhile, it is 4.5 and 129.5. I'm laying the points. Now back to 7:30. Prairie View and Florida A&M. My projection is Prairie View 1.5, total 140.35. Meanwhile, it's Florida A&M 1.5, total 139.5. I'm taking Prairie View plus the 1.5 and minus 104 to win outright. 8 o'clock, Montana State, Idaho State. My projection is Montana State by 12, total 137.25. Now it's 9.5 and 131.5. Over. South Dakota and North Dakota State. My projection is North Dakota State by 6.5, total 143. Now it's 5.5 and 137.5. Over. UTEP, North Texas. My projection is North Texas 11, total 128.05. Meanwhile, it's 9.5 and 119.5. Over. 8:30, Alcorn State and Mississippi Valley State. My projection is Alcorn by 13, total 142.75. Now it's 10.5 and 145.5. We're going to go with the over. I'm sorry, under. 9 o'clock on Fox Sports 1, number 7, Arizona at Arizona State. My projection is Arizona by 11, total 140.9. Meanwhile, it is 13 and 144, under. On ESPN at 9, you have number 10, Kansas, number 23, Texas. My projection is Texas 2, total 135.55. Meanwhile, it's Kansas by 1, total 135. It will pick them. Well, each team is minus 110 on the money line. So that would indicate a pick 'em, but I'm going to go Texas plus the 1 for insurance and minus 110 to win outright. Southeast Missouri State and SIU Edwardsville. My projection is Missouri Southeast by 5, total 148.45. Meanwhile, it is Edwardsville 1.5, total 153.5. I'm taking Missouri State plus 1.5 and minus 102 to win outright. Southern Utah and Montana. My projection is Southern Utah by 2, total 143.2. Meanwhile, it is Montana 1.5, total 140.5. Taking Southern Utah plus the 1.5 and plus 105 to win outright. Alabama State and Southern. My projection is Southern 18, total 142.15. Meanwhile, it is 10.5 and 144.5. I'm laying the points. Alabama A&M and Grambling on ESPNU. My projection is Grambling 14, total 133.4. Meanwhile, it's 4.5 and 130.5. Laying the points. And last but not least, 9:30, Northern Arizona, Northern Colorado. My projection is Northern Colorado by 12, total 148.45. Meanwhile, it is 10 and 149. I'm laying the 10 with Northern Arizona. All right, now move on to the NBA from the weekend, and we will look ahead to tonight's window of games. So we'll start with Friday night. Cavs over the Hornets 102-101. Celtics over the Pistons 102-93. Bulls over the Pacers 122-115. Raptors over the Hawks 125-114. Spurs over the Rockets 131-106. Jazz over the Nuggets 125-102. Pelicans over the Nuggets 113-105. Mavs over the Sixers 107-98. Thunder over the Blazers 96-93. Saturday, Grizzlies over the Magic 135-115. Heat over the Hornets 104-86. Suns over the Wizards 95-80. Lakers over the Knicks 122-115 in overtime. Bucks over the Trailblazers 137-108. And the Kings over the Thunder 113-103. Sunday, Sixers over the Bulls 119-108. Timberwolves over the Pistons 118-105. Nuggets over the Nets 124-104. Cavs over the Pacers 98-85. Celtics over the Magic 116-83. Mavs over the Hawks 103-94. Pelicans over the Rockets 120-107. And the Bucks over the Clippers 137-113. Now we look ahead to a small window for tonight. 7 o'clock, you have the Raptors and the Hornets, 5 games in the window tonight. My My projections: Charlotte 3, total 221.45. Meanwhile, it's Toronto by 2, total 225. I'm going to go with Charlotte getting 2 and plus 112 outright. Heat Wizards, my projection is the Heat by 10, total 214.85. Meals 5.5 and 208.5. I'm going to go with the over. 8 o'clock NBA TV, Suns Bulls. My projection is Suns 9 1/4, total 219.6. Meals 7.5 and 229. Under. Warriors Thunder. My projection is Golden State 14 3/4, total 211. Meanwhile, 12.5 and 213. So it's still low enough for me to bet on Golden State. So I'm going to lay the 12.5 with Golden State. And last but not least, the Knicks and the Jazz at 9 o'clock. My projection is Jazz by 7, total 215.4. Meanwhile, it's 8 and 218.5. Under. I know Gobert would, in theory, hurt the Jazz defensively. But the Knicks are bad offensively, but decent defensively. So that's where the under comes into play here. Now we'll go over the NHL All-Star festivities. And we'll look ahead to tonight's window of games. So the All-Star game took place on Saturday. In round 1, Metro over the Pacific 6-4 and Central over the Atlantic 8-5. And in the finals, the Metro over the Central 5-3 as Claude Giroux wins the MVP of the All-Star game with 3 goals. Tristan Jarry was pretty good in this game. Frederick Anderson played for Metro. Central's Juicy Saros and Cam Talbot. Meanwhile, for the Pacific, it was Thatcher Demko and John Gibson. And in the Atlantic Division, Andre Vasilevsky and Jack Campbell played in goal. And then the skills competition. They did the fountain face-off in honor of the Bellagio since it was in Vegas. So that was a fun contest to watch. As Zach Werenski won that over Roman Josi. And then the NHL 21 and 22 was held on the Strip as Joe Pavelski won that over Steven Stamkos. So that was pretty neat. And then the fastest skater of the skills competition was Jordan Kyrou of the Blues. The save streak was a tie, Jack Campbell and Andre Vasilevsky. The hardest shot was Victor Hedman. The breakaway challenge was Alex Pietrangelo. And accuracy shooting was Sebastian Aho. All right, now we'll look ahead to 2 games tonight. 7 o'clock, you have the Hurricanes and the Maple Leafs from Toronto. Toronto's minus 134. Carolina's plus 112. Over under 6.5. Minus 110 each way. Carolina minus 1F is plus 1F is minus 245. Toronto minus 1F is plus 94. I'm going Carolina as the road dog. I think Carolina is better than Toronto overall, so I really think that Carolina is going to win this game on the road. And then Devils Senators. Sens are minus 140. Devils plus 116. Over under 6.5. Overs even money. Unders minus 122. Devils plus 1F is minus 225. Ottawa minus 1F is plus 180. I'm going with the Devils plus 116. I really like New Jersey here to win outright. They're just better than Ottawa, I think. So, two dogs that went out right tonight in Carolina and New Jersey. Now I'm going to go over the Pro Bowl from yesterday as the AFC defeated the NFC 41-35. Mac Jones, 12 of 1,612 yards, a touchdown, the pick. Justin Herbert, 7-11, 98 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a pick. Patrick Mahomes, 5 of 10, 53 yards, and the pick. And Stephon Diggs completed the pass for 15 yards. Kyler Murray, 18 of 27, 160 yards, 3 touchdowns, and a pick. Russell Wilson, 19 of 17, 77 yards, and 2 picks. And Kirk Cousins, 6 of 10, 66 yards, a touchdown, and an interception. So the quarterback that I think played the best was Kyler Murray. There was a lot of scoring, a lot of defensive scoring. The first touchdown of the game was a 45-yard pick six from Darius Leonard. And then there was a lot of scoring in this game, barely any defensive played. And then the MVPs of the game, I believe, were was it Mac Jones or Justin Herbert? I know the defensive MVP was Max Crosby, but on the other side, I really don't remember who was the MVP for the offensive end. Offensive MVP was Justin Herbert, who played well in that game. So that was the Pro Bowl, and obviously the Super Bowl will be on Sunday. So Friday's podcast is where we're going to make the big pick and do a lot of gambling stuff on the show as well. Or maybe I'll do a separate show with that. We'll see how the week goes. All right, now we'll recap the Olympics for the first couple of nights. And we'll look ahead to what is going to be going on tonight. So, in terms of results, Thursday results. We had the mixed doubles round robin go on for curling on Thursday, as well as alpine skiing and freestyle skiing, and then we had some hockey for women with Czech Republic over China 3-1, Canada over Switzerland 12-1, Japan over Sweden 3-1, U.S. over Finland 5-2. Then we had luge with both men and women singles training groups, and then ski jumping was also Thursday. And then curling mixed doubles round robin was Friday. Sweden over Australia 7-6, Canada over Switzerland 7-5, Italy over Norway 11-8, Italy over Czech Republic 10-2. That's session 6. The first three I read off was session 5. So session 6, Canada over China 8-6, Great Britain over Australia 9-8, and U.S. over Sweden 8-7. Figure skating, they had ice dance, rhythm dance, men's single skating short program, and pair skating short program on Friday. And then women's prelims Group B for hockey, China over Denmark 3-1, and prelims Group A for women's hockey Russia over Switzerland 5-2. Luge, they had singles training run 5 and 6 done, and ski jumping, both women and men's normal hill official training. Saturday was a big day. The men's downhill third training was actually canceled for Saturday. So we had some medals on Saturday for biathlon. The bronze going to Russia, silver France, gold Norway for the mixed relay 4x6 kilometers, men and women's. Cross country skiing, women's 7.5 kilometers skiathlon. Bronze went to Australia. Teresa Stradler. Silver went to Natalia Napreva of Russia. And gold went to Teresa Johag of Norway. Curling. So, mixed doubles, round robin 7. Norway over Australia 10-4. Sweden over Switzerland 6-1. Session 8. U.S. over China 7-5. Great Britain over Czech Republic 8-3. Sweden over Canada 6-2. Italy over Australia 7-3. Session 9. Italy over Great Britain 7-5. Norway over China 9-6. Switzerland over Czech Republic 11-3. And Canada over U.S. 7-2. Freestyle skiing from Saturday. The men's moguls final third round. The bronze going to Akuma Hiroshima of Japan. Silver Mikhail Kingsbury of Canada. And the gold Walter Wahlberg of Sweden. Hockey, women's Group B prelims. Canada over Finland 11-1. U.S. over ROC 5-0. That's Russia. Group B, Japan over Denmark 6-2. And Czech Republic over Sweden 3-1. In luge, the women's single training groups A and B were done with runs 3 and 4. And the men's single runs 1 and 2 were done. Short track speed skating, gold medal event. So the bronze went to Hungary, silver Italy, and the gold went to China. Ski jumping, gold medal event. Bronze went to Nika Krinsnar of Slovakia. The silver went to Katharina Altheris of Germany, and the gold went to Ursa Bogatog of Slovenia. Snowboarding, the qualifying runs were done in the ones in the 1 and 2. Speed skating, the women's 3,000 meter gold medal event. Bronze went to Isabel Wyman of Canada. Silver went to Francesca Lollobrigida of Italy. Whoops. And then the gold went to Irene Schouten of the Netherlands. And then yesterday, we had cross-country skiing, gold medal event, the men's 15-kilometer skiathon. The bronze went to Ivo Niskanen of Finland. The silver went to Denis Spitsov of Russia. And the gold went to Alexander Bolshanov of Russia. Curling, mixed doubles, round robin session 10. Czech Republic over USA 10-8. Great Britain over China 6-5. Session 11. Norway over Sweden 6-2. Australia over Switzerland 9-6. Italy over China 8-4. Canada over Czech Republic 7-5. Session 12. Australia over Canada 10-8. Italy over Sweden 12-8. Switzerland over USA 6-5. And Norway over Great Britain 6-2. Figure skating, the men's single skating, free skating event finished, and women's single skating short program finished. Freestyle skiing, women's Mongols final 3 gold medal event. Bronze went to Anastasia Simronova of Russia. Silver went to Jalen Koff of USA, and gold went to Jakarta Anthony of Australia. Women's ice hockey Group B prelims, China over Japan 2-1 and U.S. over Switzerland 8-0. Luge men's single run 4 gold medal event. Bronze went to Dominic Fischnaller of Italy. Silver went to Wolfgang Kindl of what it's Austria, not Australia. And the gold went to Johannes Ludwig of Germany. The Nordic Combine, the Gunderson Normal Hill 10-kilometer official training is done. Ski jumping, men's normal hill individual final round gold medal event. Bronze went to Dawid Kubacki of Poland. Silver went to Manuel Fettner of Austria. And gold went to Ryu Kobayashi of Japan. Snowboarding, gold medal event, women's snowboard slopestyle final run 3. Bronze went to Tess Cody of Australia. Silver went to Julia Marino of USA. And gold went to Zoe Sadowski-Sanat of New Zealand. Speed skating, men's 5,000 meter gold medal event. Bronze went to Hallgeir Engebråten of Norway. The silver went to Patrick Roos of the Netherlands, and the gold went to Niels van der Poel of Sweden. And then so far today, this is considered today in China, alpine skiing, gold medal event, women's giant slalom run 2. Bronze went to Lara Soy Gutpatarmi of Switzerland. The silver went to Federica Brignoni of Italy, and the gold went to Sarah Hector of Sweden. And then the men's downhill gold medal event, bronze went to Matthias Meyer of Austria, silver went to Johan Clary of France, and the gold went to Beat Fuse of Switzerland. Biathlon, the women's 15-kilometer individual gold medal event, bronze went to Olsbu Marte Rosalind of Norway, silver went to Anise Chevlever-Bochet of France, and gold went to Denise Herrmann of Germany. Denise Herrmann. Curling mixed doubles round robin session 13. Norway over Switzerland 6-5. Italy over Canada 8-7. Great Britain over US 8-4. Czech Republic over China 8-6. Mixed doubles semifinal. Norway over Great Britain 6-5, and Italy over Sweden 8-1. So Norway, Italy for the gold, and Great Britain, Sweden for the bronze. Figure skating. Women's single skating, free skating, gold medal event. The bronze went to Japan, the silver went to U.S., and the gold went to Russia. So U.S. getting silver there is a big deal because they haven't placed in figure skating for women's. So freestyle skiing, both the women's and men's free ski big air qualification runs are done. Hockey women's prelims group A, Canada over Russia 6-1. And Denmark over Czech Republic 3-2 in group B. Going on right now, China, Sweden 1 apiece in group B. In group A, Switzerland over Finland 1-0. Luge, women's single run 2s in progress. Single runs 1 done. Doubles training 3 and 4 done. Nordic combine, the Gunderson Normal Hill 10-kilometer official training 2 done. Short track speed skating, the women's 500-meter final A. The bronze going to Kim Boutsen of Canada. The silver going to Suzanne Schulting of the Netherlands. And gold going to Ariana Fontana of Italy. And the men's 1,000-meter final A, bronze going to Liu Shohong of Hungary, silver going to Wenlong Li of China, and the gold going to Ren Zhui of China. The skeleton, the women's official training and men's official training done. Ski jumping, mixed team trial round for competition in the first round were done. In the final round, bronze going to Canada, silver going to ROC, and the gold going to Slovenia. Snowboarding, the final runs 1 and 2 were done, and then the final run 3 was the medals. Bronze, Mark McMorris of Canada, silver, Yiming Su of China, and the gold, Max Parrott of Canada. Speed skating, women's 1,500 meter done. Bronze, Antoinette de Jong of the Netherlands, silver going to Mio Tagai of Japan, and gold going to Irene Wust of the Netherlands. And then going on later tonight, you have for alpine skiing, men's Super G, the biathlon, the men's 20-kilometer individual, cross country. You have the sprint free finals in each, the cross country skiing. Curling, we got the gold medal game between Italy and Norway, and the bronze medal game between Sweden and Great Britain. And then figure skating, we have the men's single skating short program. Freestyle skiing, we have the women's free ski big air final run. Ice hockey for women's Group A, we have U.S. and Canada and Finland ROC. In Group B of Japan, Czech Republic, and Sweden and Denmark. In luge, we have tomorrow women's single runs 4 and 3, and doubles training run 5 and 6, and single runs 4 is a gold medal event. Nordic Combine, the 10-kilometer official training. Skeleton, we have women official training heats 3 and 4, and men's official training heats 3 and 4. Snowboarding, we have the women's parallel giant slalom, the small final, the big final, and same for the men's. Speed skating, we have a gold medal event, the men's 1,500 meters. So that was a lot of Olympic talk because we didn't get to do it on Thursday, so we had to do some catching up. All right, now we'll do golf. We'll recap the weekend's event, which is which was the what event was it? Oh, the Pro A&M, whatever that one was. Yes, the AT&T Pebble Beach Pro A&M. So your winner of 19 under, Taylor Hogue. Second with 17 under, Jordan Spieth. Third with 16 under, went to B.O. Hostler. Tied for fourth with 15 under, Patrick Cantlay and Troy Merritt. Tied for sixth with 14 under, Adam Pond and Matt Fitzpatrick, Joel Dahman. Tied for ninth with 13 under, Pat Perez, Seamus Power, and Jonathan Bird. Tied for 12th with 12 under, Dylan McCarthy and Keith Mitchell. Tied for 14th with 11 under, Nate Taylor and Kristen Ziedenhout. Tied for 16th with 10 under, J.J. Spawn, Adam Hadwin, Taylor Moore, Robert Garrigus, Sean O'Hare, Lucas Griffin, Brendan Todd, and Mackenzie Hughes. Tied for 24th with 9 under, Bo Van Pelt, Jason Day, Dylan Fratelli, David Lipsky. Tied for 28th with 8 under, Vincent Taylor, Nate Lashley, Trey Millinax, Kelly Kraft, and Ryan Armour. Tied for 33rd with 7 under, Grayson Sigg, Maverick McNeely, Doc Redmond, Russell Knox, Max Hubbard, Jimmy Walker. Now we're just going to go through notables. Tied for 42nd with 6 under, Adam Cook, Lucas Donald, Ryan Moore. Tied for 49th with 5 under, Camilo Vegas, Tyler Duncan. 62nd with 2 under, Justin Rose. Among those cut, Matthew Neesmith, DJ Tran, Wyndham Clark, Brian Harmon, Michael Thompson, Scott Stallings, Chez Reed, Chris Kirk, Vincent Whaley, Stuart St. Vito Pereira, Lucas Hodges, Patrick Rogers, Bryce Garnett, Kevin Kisner, Cam Piercy, Cam Champ, Richie Wierenski, Lucas Glover, Tyson McCumber, Ryan Palmer, Dylan Vanderwalt, Charles Schwartzel. And that's really it among the notable placements here. Now I'll move on to news and notes for today. And from the rest of the weekend. A lot to talk about. Net 76ers, you're hearing a lot of rumors about James Harden. And there's talks between the two sides. As Sean Marks shut down Daryl Morey's request to discuss a James Harden trade in January. And James Harden is seeking an agent amid trade rumors. Karis LeVert gets dealt to the Cleveland Cavaliers for Ricky Rubio, a lottery-protected 2022 pick, and 2 second-round picks. I like the pickup for Cleveland. He doesn't have to do much for them. Steve Nash says that the Nets are not trading James Harden. KD says he wants Harden in Brooklyn. Harden is upset with the Nets organization and hasn't been as much of a problem as one would expect regarding the Kyrie situation. And that's regarding Harden's frustrations with the team. The Pelicans are shopping Josh Hart. We'll see where that goes. There's another trade. On Friday, as the Clippers got Robert Covington and Norman Powell from Portland in a package that includes Eric Bledsoe and a bunch of picks. There's tension rising with the Jazz stars, Rudy Gobert and Donovan Mitchell. And by the way, that Clippers-Blazers trade, that tells me that the Clippers may think that Kawhi's coming back this year, but they're just keeping it a monster secret. They wouldn't have done that trade if Kawhi Leonard wasn't coming back this year. A Bradley Beal trade is highly unlikely, but apparently the Nets are open to a Harden trade according to Shams. As Shams reported that they're expected to discuss Ben Simmons, James Harden. Minnesota open to Ben Simmons and Tobias Harris as they've discussed with Philly a trade package with Philadelphia involving draft picks in return for some star pieces. Minnesota's also eyeing Marcus Smart. The NBA is supposed to bump up the salary cap. $121 million for the cap and the tax level $147 million for 22-23. Some NHL scheduling updates for 2023. The Canes to host the Stadium Series All-Star Weekend in Florida. The Blackhawks fired trainer after the probe, as they fired the head trainer of the AHL team in November after investigating allegations of a 2014 sexual harassment. So this has nothing to do, it seems like, with the big scandal from earlier in the season. The Dolphins are hiring Mike McDaniel as their new head coach, and the 49ers will receive picks in 22-23 after the diversity hiring inactive program after the Dolphins hire of Mike McDaniel. I still rather have Brian Flores. I understand that McDaniel really unleashed Deebo Samuel this year and really did a lot with that offense. Alvin Kamara got arrested after the Pro Bowl last night on a charge of battery resulting in substantial bodily harm. And apparently he's facing 5 years in jail, and the bait is $5,000. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see how this plays out. The Texans' job frontrunner looks like it's Lovie Smith, who is their defensive coordinator. Obviously, Smith coached in the NFL before with the Bears and with the Buccaneers. Failure with the Bucs, but was good with the Bears. Green Bay doesn't plan to trade Aaron Rodgers. The Steelers picked the defensive coordinator, Terrell Austin, as they are promoting their current assistant defensive coordinator, which is good. I like Terrell Austin a lot. The Patriots are apparently eyeing former Dolphins and Jets head coach Adam Gase for their offensive coordinator position. That'd be wild. Anthony Lynn got hired to be an assistant on Kyle Shanahan's staff. The Titans are not pursuing Aaron Rodgers, and they have full intentions of moving forward with Ryan Tannehill. The Saints are met with Eric Bieniemy. That is great. Hopefully Bieniemy gets a job. Ravens general manager Eric DeCosta, comfortable with wide receivers, sans rumors about Antonio Brown. Jason McCourty says that the 2017 Browns were tanking and says there were no way they were trying to win. Greg Popovich got his 1,500th win the other day, so that's pretty cool. The Pistons are looking at Mitchell Robinson, whether it's trade or free agency. The Knicks may look to trade Kemba Walker by the deadline, and they're eyeing De'Aaron Fox with Julius Randle. Next Laker on my mind, wrong one. As like a piece going back to Sacramento. Randle says that the rumors is gossip to me. I think it's just gossip too. Josh Gaddis blasts his former team. He says, I would never advise anyone to be where they are not wanted. He flat out blasted Michigan and Jim Harbaugh there. Kayvon Thibodeau responds to criticism, as people are saying he could fly out of the top 5 because he doesn't play with the same fire. Some WNBA news, Tina Charles to the Mercury, so she'll join Skylar Diggins-Smith, Diana Taurasi, and Brittany Griner in Phoenix. So that's a monster team in Phoenix. Liz Cambage signing with the Sparks. So that's big news for WNBA free agency. I want to get Jeff Maglicetti on the show so bad. And the Sparks also trade for Kennedy Carter with the rights of Lee Uru in exchange for Erica Wheeler and 2 draft picks. Breaking news right now from Adam Schefter. The Colts announced they have hired Gus Bradley as their defensive coordinator, as their old DC went to the Bears to become their new head coach. The Yankees are expected to pursue Freddie Freeman after the lockout. MLBPA denies meditation requests as players stand ready to negotiate and decline MLB's request for a meditator installed CBA talks. The Giants lost their defensive coordinator Patrick Graham to the Las Vegas Raiders. Good on the Raiders for snagging him away from the Giants. I thought he did a good job 2 years ago. Last year, the unit underachieved. And now the Giants have an open DC position. I think that the ex-Ravens defensive coordinator is in play for the job. and a couple others. I thought Terrell Austin was, but he's going to stay with Pittsburgh. So we'll see who they are. And Vic Fangio's in play too. And the Giants also hired an assistant general manager, Brendan Brown, who is the Eagles' director of player personnel. A lot of Eagles front office people are getting hired in other front offices. So I think that's a good hire by the Giants to assist Joe Shane. Umpire Joe West retires. About time. I thought he was awful the last couple years. But congrats to Joe West. He did have a great career when he was in his prime and such, though. The players speak up about the lockout. MLB players, including Max Scherzer, make their demands clear for the next CBA as lockout continues. Jack Eichel could be cleared for contact after the All-Star break. That is great news for Vegas. Hopefully, we'll see him on the ice sooner rather than later. And some non-sports news. Chris Cuomo seeking arbitration from CNN and other demands to clear name. And good news in New Jersey. Governor Murphy to drop the mask mandate for New Jersey schools. That is great for kids, I think. And I think there's going to be a lot of folks that are happy about this, especially teachers, I would say, so they could see the smiling faces of their kids again. So that's, I think, great news this morning coming down for the state of New Jersey. All right, last but not least, my best bet of the day, brought to you by FanDuel. Best bet was a winner on Friday, as I took the Bulls against the Pacers as they were giving only 3 points. But now I see a 3, and I think the incorrect team is favored. I'm talking about the Charlotte Hornets. I'm taking them +3 at home against the Raptors. I think that Charlotte being at home, this is a big spot for them in LaMelo Ball. They don't have any injuries. I just think there's favoritism towards Toronto because of their past history under Nick Nurse. So I'm going to I'm going to take the 3 points with the Charlotte Hornets against the Raptors as my best bet of the day. All right, so there you go. I have it for today's busy show. We'll be back tomorrow recapping everything from college basketball, NBA, NHL, Olympics, looking ahead to tomorrow's games in each sport and then the Olympics as well. News and notes, and maybe an activity for you as well. Hope you guys have a great day, everyone.